Hi friends, good evening and welcome back to my channel Mukambika Nursing. Friends, we are discussing ESIC previous year questions and answers. Till now we completed 8 parts. Surely these all questions and this topic will helpful for your coming exam preparation. Based on these questions, you can concentrate the area which the questions already came. Okay, so you have to study well and prepare well for the exam. Let's see today's question. First question, the classical substance that increases the sensitivity of pain receptors by enhancing the pain provoking effect of bradykinin is. This question from ESIC question paper 2019. The question is the substance that increase the sensitivity of pain receptors by increasing or enhancing the pain provoking effect of bradykinin is prostaglandin. Option C is the correct answer. High level of prostaglandins are produced in response to injury or infection. Okay, that will enhance the pain provoking effect of bradykinin. The next question, which of the following increases the vascular permeability during acute inflammation? Options, option A histamine, option C cytokinin, option D AFP and option D both A and B. During acute inflammation, which substance increases the vascular permeability? That is the question. Vascular means related to blood vessels. So here correct answer is both A and B. Histamine and cytokinin will increases the vascular permeability during acute inflammation. The next question, cytokinins are secreted by options. Option A neutrophils, option B lymphocytes, option C endothelial cells and option D all of this. Cytokinins are secreted by answer option D all of this, that is neutrophils, B lymphocytes and endothelial cells. The cytokines are small proteins that will help to control the immune system of the body. For example, in case of any infection or inflammation, this will activate, cytokine will activate and fight against the pathogenic organisms. And the next question, the inflammatory or exudative phase of wound healing will last for options. Option A 1 to 4 days, option B 5 to 14 days, option C 14 to 21 days and option D 21 days to 1 month. Inflammatory or exudative phase of wound healing will last for, that is the question. So correct answer is option A 1 to 4 days. Inflammatory or exudative phase of wound healing will start from onset of the injury to day 4. Here, the main wound healing process or wound healing actions include clot formation from the injury site to arrest bleeding. Okay, and also migration of inflammatory cells to the site of wound and activation of macrophages. This is the healing action that occurs in this phase, exudative phase. Move on to the next question. An opening of surgical wound edge is called. Options. Option A wound evisceration, option B wound rupture, option C wound approximation, option D wound dehiscence. An opening of surgical wound edge is known as wound dehiscence. Option D is the correct answer. Wound dehiscence is one of the surgical complication that the wound edge is opened due to too tight suturing. Okay, the suture will be too tight or too loose suturing. Okay, or due to any sneezing or coughing, that may also cause the opening in the surgical wound side or wound edge, that is known as wound dehiscence. Or another one option is there wound evisceration. Wound evisceration means the abdominal organs are protruded out or coming out, that is known as wound evisceration. The next question, edema develops if plasma albumin level falls below. Options, option A 2.5 gram per deciliter, option B 3.5 gram per deciliter, option C 4.5 gram per deciliter and option D 5 gram per deciliter. Okay, edema develops if plasma albumin level falls below 2.5 gram per deciliter. Option A is the correct answer. The normal plasma albumin level is 3.5 to 5.5 gram per deciliter. Okay, so edema develops if it goes below 2.5 gram per deciliter. And the next question, what is the most appropriate nursing intervention while treating a laceration? Options, option A monitor blood pressure, option B elevate the body parts, option C apply pressure dressing and heat, option D apply pressure dressing and ice pack. Most appropriate nursing intervention while treating laceration, that is the question. So correct answer is option D, apply pressure dressing and ice pack. Okay, option D is the correct answer. The next question, stab wound for a drainage system is known as. Options, option A incision, option B puncture, option C laceration, option D cautery. Correct answer is option B puncture. Stab wound means small penetrating wound which is made by using a knife, that is known as puncture. Option B is the correct answer. The next question, the first school of nursing was established in. Options, option A London, option B Germany, option C Virginia, option D Italy. The first school of nursing was established in option B at Germany. In 1836, Pastor Theodor Flettner established the first school of nursing in Kaiserswerth in Germany. Okay, here Germany is there, so option B is correct. And the next question, in 1860, the Nightingale set up the first nursing training school at. Options, option A St. Thomas Hospital, London, option B University of Edinburgh, option C at Virginia, option D none of this. So the Nightingale set up the first nursing training school at, option A is the correct answer, St. Thomas Hospital, London. Move on to the next question. Which oil is harmful for coronary artery disease? Options, option A coconut oil, option B sunflower oil, option C safflower oil and option D olive oil. Which oil is harmful for coronary artery disease? Correct answer is option A coconut oil. The next question, Osler's knots are the characteristic features of which of the following? Options, option A rheumatic endocarditis, option B endocarditis, option C osteoarthritis, option D rheumatic arthritis. Osler's knots are the characteristic features of endocarditis. Option B is the correct answer. Move on to the next question. After death of a person, how long cornea can preserve for transplantation? Options, option A 2 hours, option B 4 hours, option C 6 hours and option D 8 hours. So after death of the person, how long we can preserve cornea for transplantation? Correct answer is option C, for 6 hours we can preserve the cornea. Move on to the next question. Cyst on eyelids due to blockage of tarsal gland is known as. Options, option A blepharitis, option B chalazion, option C stye, option D none of this. Cyst on eyelids due to blockage of tarsal gland is known as chalazion. Option B is the correct answer. Blepharitis means it's an inflammation of the eyelids. And stye means painful nodular infection of the sebaceous glands of the eye. It is also known as hordeolum. Stye is also known as hordeolum. The next question. An almond-shaped exocrine gland situated in upper and lateral region of each orbit is known as. Options: option A eyelids, option B lacrimal gland, option C cornea, option D lens. An almond-shaped exocrine gland is known as lacrimal gland, which is situated in the upper and lateral region of each orbit of the eye. Okay, that is known as lacrimal gland. Option B is the correct answer. Move on to the next question. In an adult, the skeleton comprises around. Options: option A 40 to 50% of the body weight, total body weight. Option C 30 to 40% of total body weight. Option C 20 to 30% of total body weight, and option D 10 to 20% of total body weight. In an adult, the skeleton comprises around 10 to 20% of total body weight. Option D is the correct answer. The next question, total number of bones in human body is. Options: option A 206, option B 207, option C 208, option D 209. Total number of bones in human body. Correct answer is option A 206. This is ESIC exam, Chennai exam 2012 question. The next question, total number of facial bones. Options: option A 12, option B 13, option C 14, option D 18. Total number of facial bones. Correct answer is option C 14. Facial bones 14. The next question, total number of bones in the skull. Options: 22, option B 24, option C 28, option D 32. Total number of bones in the skull. Skull bones are 22. Option A is the correct answer. The next question, which bone is the largest bone in the human body? Option A tibia, option B femur, option C humerus, option D radius. Largest bone in the human body is femur. Option B is the correct answer.